All right, hello and welcome everyone to today's Produce Spotlight class for today. My name is Charlotte Shine. I'm one of the Giant Company dietitians. So for this month, we are focusing all on spring salads. I hope everybody is enjoying, especially the spring weather. But whenever this weather comes about, it automatically makes me think of all the in-season produce that is coming up. So today we are going to be doing a very spring salad. We're going to be making a cucumber, white bean, and feta salad with hummus dressing. It's super easy to make and then incorporates a couple of different produce items that are in season right now for spring. But before we get into that, I just wanted to review, because we are doing spring salads, these are just some spring salad produce options right now. So I definitely have been using asparagus this time of year, so asparagus is in season right now. We're going to be incorporating radishes, so I have those right here. Also things like spinach, Swiss chard, and then arugula. We'll be using arugula in today's recipe. In season, different varieties of peas, leeks, herbs. We're going to be chopping up some mint today. Love mint on to salads. If you have not tried mint, definitely give it a try. It definitely incorporates a lot of flavor, which is nice. Also carrots. Of course, automatically when I think of carrots, I think of Easter and that holiday. I'm sure a lot of you have incorporated carrots into your meal for the holidays. And also things like spring onions and then rhubarb. So rhubarb you can definitely incorporate into a salad. It doesn't just have to be, rhubarb pie or rhubarb and strawberry pie. You can definitely put on top of a salad. So those are just some different spring salad produce options. Okay, so since this is a produce spotlight class, I wanted to just highlight arugula. Arugula is one of my favorite things to add to a salad. I probably mentioned that a couple different times in classes, but arugula, so that's one of the packages that we have, one of the products that we have in store. So we're going to be using this baby arugula in today's recipe, but arugula has a lot of different nutritional benefits. So it is a good source of magnesium. So magnesium is good for blood pressure regulation, bone development, and nerve and muscle function. Also a good source of vitamin C. Of course, this is very beneficial for our immune health and staying healthy. It's a really rich source of vitamin K. So we know that vitamin K helps to strengthen our bones and helps with blood clotting. And of course, with a lot of different produce items, good source of fiber. So we know that fiber supports gut health and then improves digestion and bowel health. And as Americans, we definitely do not get enough fiber. So this is a great way to get our fiber recommendations for the day. So those are just a few of the main different nutritional benefits of arugula. Arugula has a really nice kind of a peppery bite to it, which I always love in a salad. So if you've not tried arugula, hopefully the recipe today inspires you to do so. And since we're talking about arugula, I just want to mention some other ways to use it. Of course, you can use it in a salad, but also you can incorporate it into sandwiches and wraps. And even with sandwiches, and you can see the picture right here, you can incorporate it into any type of like grilled panini sandwich is really good. Pasta salads, well, especially with the picnic season coming up, incorporating it into pasta salads is good. If you like avocado toast, you can put it on top as a topping on the toast. You can blend it into a pesto, a lot of different recipes with arugula incorporated into a pesto, add it to omelets, you can saute it into pasta, or just a garnish for soup. So a lot of different ways to incorporate arugula. Like I said before, arugula is in season right now and has that peppery bite, which makes whatever you put it in taste really good. So this is our recipe for today, which of course comes off of our Savory online recipe database. I've made this multiple times before, and it's a very delicious recipe, a lot of great flavor going on in it. But it's a cucumber, white bean, and feta salad with hummus dressing. It does get one guiding star, so we know that our guiding star program is on recipes on Savory online or products in stores. So the more stars that something has, the more nutritionally beneficial it is, with 3 stars being the best, but any type of guiding star will have nutritional benefits. So this one gets one guiding star, 12 grams of protein, and 7 grams of fiber. So our ingredients for this, we're going to slice some cucumbers. The recipe originally said just 2 seedless cucumbers, but I really love these little mini cucumbers. If anybody has used these before, they're just very easy to cut up. So we're going to be using 4 mini cucumbers, of course, radishes, which are an in-season spring produce item, gives a nice crunch to our salad. I have my shredded matchstick carrots that we're going to be just doing half of the bag, 4 cups of packed arugula, I would also want to mention too, everything that you see right here is I already washed it before class. But with the arugula and matchstick carrots, it's already pre-washed, which makes it really nice for just pulling it out of the refrigerator and then adding it to different salads. We're also going to be using 1 can of cannellini beans. So I've already drained and rinsed these. These are not low sodium, but I did rinse them off so it decreases the sodium, um, usually by like 40% or so, which is nice. We're going to be using a prepared hummus. So you can there's a lot of different hummus options. I'm going to be using the garlic. You could just use the original. I'm trying to think of some other ones that might taste good in this, but I would probably stick with the roasted garlic or a traditional hummus just to keep it a little bit more mild. For our dressing, we're going to be mixing that with olive oil, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, which I already squeezed. Always like a fresh lemon juice, I think even gives a really even more of kind of a kick. Also, and then on top, some you can do reduced fat or just regular feta cheese, whatever that you will like. I just have regular feta cheese here, but we're gonna top it with that and then some mint. So again, I mentioned mint gives a lot of great flavor to the salad. So very simple ingredients, very easy to make and very delicious, a lot of nutritional benefits. But this salad just reminds me definitely of springtime, even just the color in it reminds me of warmer weather. And this would also be really good for picnics, I think, too. And this would probably store in the refrigerator. I would say with probably like 3 or 4 days or so in the refrigerator. Sometimes after that, things tend to not have as much crunch, but definitely can make it beforehand, keep it in the refrigerator. So we're going to get started with this recipe. So let me stop sharing my screen. We'll get started here. All right. All right. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to bring over this bowl and I'm just going to put in 4 cups of arugula. So this is our baby arugula. You can see right here, already pre-washed, like what I mentioned. So you can measure it out, or if you just know kind of what a cup looks like, you can just, eye it. And I'll just go ahead and just kind of measure it. So we're going to do 4 cups of packed arugula. So 1, 2, 3, and then 4. All right, so that looks pretty good. So go ahead and put this into my bowl and just get some of the ones that fell. I'll set this to the side. And so the next thing we're going to do is cut up our cucumbers. So the original recipe calls for 2 seedless, like regular sized cucumbers. But I've been really liking these mini cucumbers, and I don't know if anybody has or uses these. My daughters definitely love these. They're just a nice size. Oops. So I'm going to just cut off the ends. And we're going to do kind of a half moon shape. So I'll cut it down the end, or not the end, the middle. Just kind of make it into smaller pieces, just like this. You can put your answer in the chat. Does anybody like to incorporate cucumbers on top of their salads? So cucumbers normally are in season around, I would say like maybe mid-May to kind of into August, but the cucumbers in season taste really good. So I see some of you do like to incorporate cucumbers. Okay, so I'm just putting this into my bowl. Go a little bit faster. So you just take off the ends and cutting it down the middle. And like I said before, I did already pre-wash these cucumbers. So I'm just cutting it down right down the middle and then doing a half moon shape. Add this to my bowl. This cucumber will give a really nice crunch. Just these done, and then the next thing we're going to slice is all the radishes. Okay. That's probably, we can get away with just kind of 3 mini cucumbers. I think. Okay, so you can see right here, I just added it on top of the arugula. Let me just set this to the side. So probably can do about 3 to 4 mini cucumbers. I'm just going to stick with 3 because I think that's a good amount. So here are my radishes, again, already pre-washed. Just taking off the ends. So the recipe calls for 5. And I think with this really pretty red color makes our dish or the salad very colorful. So you can either slice it or do whatever shape that you would like. So we'll just do slices. Kind of just like that. I'm gonna add it to our salad right here. Should probably do half moon shape with the radishes too. Well, I have mint, the herb mint, sitting right beside me, and it smells so good. Don't know if anybody grows their own herbs like in a garden, but yeah, I just love herbs this time of year. All right, so almost done. This is my 4th radish. Last one. Then after I put these radishes in, I'm going to put half of that package of matchstick carrots right in. You can see here, that red color, making it look really colorful. All right. So these are the matchstick carrots that I have. These are washed and ready to eat. Gives some nice crunch and then additional color. The recipe calls for half of these matchstick carrots. So again, carrots are in season right now. Spoon. And then I'm also going to add in these cannellini beans, which are already drained and rinsed. So we're going to add these in. Actually, before I add those in, let me, where did I put? There we are. Just kind of mix this around. So the cannellini beans help to add another source of fiber, and then as well as protein as well. Even if you wanted to add more protein on top of this, I would think grilled chicken would be good, or turkey. You could definitely add something like that, or even like tofu or something like that. All right, let me go ahead and add in my 1 can of cannellini beans. Again, adding some additional protein and fiber. All right, so we'll just keep it like that. We're going to go ahead and make our dressing. All right, so this is, actually, let me use this. So I'm going to add in, the hummus that I'm using is a roasted garlic. I'm going to do 1/4 of a cup. So again, what we're making here is the dressing for it. I think you can use either like the traditional hummus, roasted garlic, or more of a mild hummus for this recipe. Something like a spinach artichoke hummus, probably the flavors would be, kind of, I don't know, not matched very well. Okay, so we're gonna do 1/4 of our garlic hummus. We're gonna add in 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, which I already freshly squeezed. See, my lemon's right here. So I did that before class. We're gonna add in 3 tablespoons of olive oil. So giving those healthy fats that we love. So 1, 2, and 3. You can even add a little bit of salt and pepper if you want. You don't necessarily have to. I don't think I'm going to for this one. Just gonna mix it up the best that you can. Once this is mixed, we're going to add it right on top of that salad and kind of mix it around until it is mixed kind of evenly so that all of our arugula and all the ingredients are covered. And actually, before I do that, I'm going to chop up our mint so we have that a while. So this is our hummus, olive oil, and then lemon juice right here. So I do have my mint. So I did already wash this as well. So we want about 1/4 of a cup for mint. So I go ahead and just chop this up. You don't have to chop it up super small, but just enough so it kind of releases that flavor. Okay, that looks good. You go ahead and bring the salad back. And we'll put our dressing on. Start mixing it a while, and then I'll put the rest of it on. Okay. Certainly smells really good. All right, so I'm gonna put the rest of my dressing on. And I probably said this before in other classes, but I just love a good freshly squeezed lemon juice, whatever type of like vinaigrette or in recipes. It always tastes very delicious. All right, so everything is just about covered. So then I can put it on into a bowl and then put our last two ingredients on. Okay. So I'm just going to use this bowl. It's a very colorful salad, like I mentioned before. And again, if you want some more protein, you can always add in chicken, tofu, even if you want to add in like a different type of bean as well. Okay, so I have some mint. So you could probably top this with mint, or if you wanted to just use mint and add it in and kind of stir it that way, you can. I just always like to top it to make sure I get the amount that I want. With some feta cheese. So this recipe calls for 1/2 cup. But the other thing with feta cheese, sometimes I also like to just top it right on top because if you add it into the salad and then you put it in the refrigerator, sometimes the feta cheese, like the texture gets a little bit weird. So I just, as I'm eating the salad, I will top it with the feta cheese as I'm getting ready to eat it. All right. So this is our cucumber, white bean, and feta salad with hummus dressing. So you can see that did not take me too long to make, but this definitely a lot of different ingredients for spring. But a lot of different flavor going on. But if you have not tried arugula into a salad, definitely give this recipe a shot. I think that you would really like it. And it, again, very easy to make, which I always appreciate. Okay. And someone asked if you could use garbanzo beans or like chickpeas. I think that would be a great option if you want to switch that out. I think that would definitely taste very, very good. All right. Well, again, I appreciate everybody joining me here for this produce spotlight class where we highlighted arugula and we made our cucumber white bean and feta salad with hummus dressing. And again, hopefully this gives everybody a great recipe option for all the spring produce that is in season right now. But I will take a final picture of it too and send it out. But hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the day and definitely enjoy this spring weather. So take care and I hope to see you again in a future class. Bye-bye.